So the National Online Shopping Day or Harbolnas is an annual celebration for online shopaholics in Indonesia that offers a variety of deals and discounts. The country's top 6 e-commerce platforms were its initiators back in 2012, and the day has since become the biggest shopping day of any year.
The National Shopping Day or Harbolnas offers easier access for customers across the country to shop at more online retails. As a result, Southeast Asian retailers have wide opportunities to attract new customers and rekindle customer relations.
It's actually a good thing for these platforms to jointly hold Harbolnas, but at the same time, actually these platforms are suffering, right? They are economically, financially suffering. That's why they do layoffs.
I mean, as a seller, as somebody who sell products, I would say that these discounts really attract customers to buy. But at the same time, when you don't have any discount, would they buy?
That's a valid question. Yes, because I've encountered some customers who say that I'm not going to buy any of your products now unless there's a discount.
Exactly.
So it's better for me to wait until 12/12 or 11/11.
You're going to wait for a year. For
exactly.
this.
That's why I have to change the strategy.
Yeah.
So people still buy outside of the Harbolnas days.
True. And I think a lot of platforms
Sorry,
are doing
I'm not
that
following your conversation because I'm looking for the product of Rory.
Oh my God, he's still shopping.
Right,
but thank you anyway. Yes.
But in feeling a guilty feeling right now, I think I need to consultate with this with some psychologists.
You need to consult, yes.
Yeah, because you shop too much.
Yeah.
So for some people, like Achir, online shopping is a way to relieve stress. But if it becomes an addiction, it will lead to consumptive behavior. To talk more about the positive and negative impacts on online shopping, let's talk with clinical psychologist Maria Alyssia. Your wish come true.
Yes.
Right? Hi, Alyssia. Thank you so much for joining us on the 3 Hour News Show.
Alyssia, hi.
Hi.
Hello. Glad to be here too.
Yeah. So today, this is a day that everyone has been waiting for. Harbolnas, marked as Hari Belanja Online Nasional. So it means we need to shop because the products are on discounts. And why not we spend it, right? So nowadays, some people are more drawn to online shopping. Is it something that needs to be, taken caution for? Because people like to spend hours in online shopping. Is it something that we need to be alert on?
Well, even when we just talk about Harbolnas, we can't not talk about all the discounts and all the deals you guys were talking about earlier. And I'd imagine that a lot of people at home are thinking about how they're saving so much money. There's so many steals they can get.
Yeah.
But with this perspective, it can be dangerous because it encourages impulse buying, and people end up buying items that they don't need, as good as it might be for the economy. But we can see how online shopping can be so addictive and dangerous since it offers a lot of pros that we might not get in going to a physical store. For example, you've seen that you can shop at any time of the day and in any location with full access to a wide range of tailored products that can lead to just hours and hours of browsing. And online shopping can be completely hidden and unobserved as well. No one really knows the extent to which online buying behaviors take place when you're in the comfort of your own home. And on top of that, it's a lot easier to make mobile payments. You're not physically handing a store employee cash or watching them swipe your card. So the psychological distance from that financial loss of shopping makes it barely recognized by shoppers until much later.
I bet a lot of introverts are shopping during this era of online shopping, right?
Definitely. And you can see how it offers so much positive reinforcement, not just for all the pros, but also the fact that these websites, that the e-commerce has put up are so visually stimulating, and they have so many colorful advertisements.
80%
and their platforms are so easy to use.
Only today.
Yeah, exactly.
Maria, so
it's
our friend Ahir is, I don't know how to put it, not suffering, but enjoying shopping as stress relief. Is it considered as mental health disorder, the compulsive shopping habit?
Well, there hasn't been a lot of research done on compulsive shopping, to be honest, since it's rarely taken as seriously as other addictions like substance abuse. But, on top of that, shopping addiction is often trivialized in the media because, we see it being stereotyped by these rich celebrities with little more to do with their time than buy shoes. In this context, compulsive shopping in itself doesn't appear to be that big of a problem since the celebrities stay within their means. But in reality, not everyone are like these celebrities. There is a growing awareness of the need to help people who experience financial hardship as a result of compulsive shopping. So, long story short, while compulsive shopping can lead to a number of problems like reduced quality of life, difficulties managing money, and things that just require professional help as a whole, it's not recognized as a distinct behavioral addiction in the manual of mental disorders right now.
Wow.
All right, Alyssia, thank you that you are bringing a lot of psychological sides to the issue of National Shopping Days. I love the way that you explain about like a psychological distance. What is your term when you say that psychological distance when we do not touch the money, the cash, and also swipe the card?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a hidden that could drag me, for example, for getting more to the addictive.
Because we don't feel it.
Yes,
We don't feel
we
it. It's so
It's just all
seamless.
done seamlessly.
Yeah.
Yes, and also the analysis about the color of the
Advertisements.
advertisements of the.
And there's a time limit sometimes.
Yes.
You have to spend it before, 3 o'clock or something. So people,
My adrenaline rush
chase
then
what they
come
want to buy. Exactly.
more to buy more products. So for some people, I don't want to make it so stereotype. It could be woman or man. Often
Right.
buy something to fulfill their desire, not their needs. This is also known as the Diderot effect. So can you elaborate more on this effect?
So the Diderot effect, basically suggests that when we get something new, it often creates this spiral of consumption, which leads us to, acquire more new things. So as a result, we end up buying things that our, previous selves never needed to feel happy or fulfilled. We can spot a lot of similar behaviors in our lives. For example, for us women, let's say, we buy a new dress and suddenly now I have to get matching shoes and earrings.
True.
True, that's really true.
Exactly. So like if we buy a new couch and suddenly we're questioning the layout of our entire living room, even though
Why not buy a
there's
new
just
house?
Perfectly good
Yeah.
chairs, coffee
Yeah,
to that extent. And suddenly we're spending ridiculous amounts of money when we don't actually need to.
Yeah.
So this effect tells us that our lives are just going to have more things fighting to get in it. So we need to basically understand how to curate, how to eliminate things, and
Curate.
focus on what actually matters to
Yeah.
us.
The next keyword, curate.
Curate, that's right. Because sometimes when you shop tirelessly at the end of the day, you regretted what you bought because you don't really need them. It's just a matter of, selfish, what do you call
Ego.
it? Ego, that's right. Or
And you end up
that
paying your credit
instant.
card out of your ability.
Yeah, so it is a disorder for your wallet, even if not for you. So how can a person break from shopping addiction? How can we, feel that we are fulfilled? We're not thieves, and we're not, in terms of the term, what do you call it?
What?
Something that is very poor. Poor meaning that we need a lot of things. We need to buy. So when you buy,
Compulsive.
it means that you are poor enough because you don't have things, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's the tips for people who want to break from this?
Cycle.
Shopping addiction. Yeah?
Number one, I guess, simplest way is to reduce exposure. Nearly every habit that we have is initiated by a trigger.
Yeah.
So one way to avoid triggers to shop, is to, for example, unsubscribe from commercial emails, even though, let's say, I'm guilty for that as well, for being lazy not to do that. We might even, contact websites or magazines that send us catalogs and opt out of their mailings. Apart from that, we can challenge ourselves by sticking to a list. When we're going to shop for something, especially in events like Harbolnas, we can make a list of what we generally need before we start browsing the website and then, challenge ourselves to stick to that list. Apart from that, especially for people who compulsively turn to shopping when they're bored or stressed, you can develop new hobbies. We can find a healthier replacement, such as, well, Pilates or yoga, that still gives us a sense of achievement. But if it's difficult to quickly shift to these activities, which is understandable, we can just direct our shopping habits for more helpful products or services, such as investments, trainings, online lessons, anything that sort of tricks our brain into thinking that, okay, so, I feel satisfied with the shopping, but it's actually something good for me.
It's really interesting, Alyssia. Make a list, but it doesn't apply if your list consists of Rolex and Birkin bag of Hermes. Okay? But let us look at the positive side of online shopping, though. Online shopping can make us so happy, so fulfilled, and stress-free. But how can mood be related to shopping? What is the scientific explanation behind that?
I mean, if we talk about positive moods, we can't deny that shopping is a convenient escape, Like many other aspects of the online world, shopping offers that opportunity for someone to escape into hours and hours of scrolling through products and services. So that can offer this temporary reprieve from life's difficulties, stress, any conflicts we might be experiencing. And so there's some research that has even linked to the experience, of a flow state with online compulsive buying. Apart from that, research has also shown that making shopping decisions can help reinforce this sense of personal control over our environment, and it eases those feelings of sadness that we might get. And, again, when we talk about online shopping, we get that gratification, right? Both instantly and a delayed manner. So we already get instant gratification in choosing the products. And then we experience that anticipation of receiving a package that makes us super happy.
Sorry, before
So-
jumping to the next question, though, for someone who never buys luxury goods, while at the same time, their friends all wear luxury goods. So by buying one luxury good, for example, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, does that particular person will feel accepted by his group, his peers, that he or she will be accepted by the society? Is that right?
Well, when we talk about acceptance or, self-confidence, it's usually a sign of much deeper roots as opposed to just buying luxury goods to feel like we belong with the rest of our friends. So we need to be able to separate that need from what we want.
Wow.
Right. So
getting
we
more
are,
and
we
more
are let's say we are elaborating the topic of shopping therapy.
Yeah.
So related to this, does shopping actually help us in the topic of solving our anxiety, for example? Can it help us for that?
Well, shopping stimulates our senses again, Like I talked about the website earlier, how it can combine to create an imaginative experience that can remove us from our own reality, even if it's only for a little while. So, purchasing something we want can give us that boost of happiness. It feels like a treat and can be one of the ways we indulge in self care, especially when it's done in a healthy manner with anxiety. But it doesn't help to solve it because shopping essentially promotes avoidance, which can be beneficial when it's temporary. But if there is a constant need to shop with negative long term side effects, then you know that it's reached the point of being unhealthy.
Right. Now,
Imaginative experience. Remember that.
Imaginative experience. But I mean, it's true what you said, Alyssia. I mean, you wanted to buy, for example, a hair straightener, and then you open the platform, suddenly a lot of advertisements popped up, and then you just cannot resist on clicking on it and
Right.
see what's happening, right? What can we buy, or what discounts can we steal from this product, or things like that? So, what is behind the psychology of advertisement? I mean, they're getting more and more smart right now. can advertising affect people's buying? Can you explain more on this?
Not just about the using of colors, yeah?
No,
Yeah.
there's a psychology, I believe, using the right person to advertise, for example.
Or trend for the now trend is live streamers,
Live
promoting not just the
streamers, yes.
influencer anymore.
Yeah.
Or live shopping.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, definitely. Companies have come up with a lot of sophisticated methods of just nudging people to spend a little more money than they might be comfortable with. So one of the things that you just mentioned earlier is actually what we call exposure bias in psychology.
Exposure
So
bias.
when people are exposed to an idea or an item repeatedly, their attitude towards it tends to become more positive. For example, even though we might not need a new phone, but if we continue to see ads for this new phone,
Persistence
this
ads.
better phone,
Yeah.
and yes, and eventually that creates this fondness for this phone that can trigger a decision to buy it.
Right.
Apart from that, another thing that you actually already mentioned is again what we call the bandwagon effect. So when people, do see others do something, they're more likely to do or believe something simply because of that. It's that desire to conform to societal norms, just as we buy luxury goods to fit in. So, you mentioned live streamers or celebrities or even, online influencers and how they might do ads and proudly display these logos or brands. So that's, curated in a way that people tend to be more likely to buy them just because we see that, oh, wow, these people are so happy or successful, then I might be able to feel the same way if I try to buy this product.
Right. So, Maria, this is our last question. Do you have any shopping guideline for us to shop responsibly and for feeling truly happiness instead of feeling sorry about what we did with shopping?
So I think I mentioned one thing earlier about separating our need from want. And this is something that comes from Marie Kondo, if you remember
Marie
that.
Kondo,
actually.
okay.
So, yeah, exactly. So, she suggested that we think about exactly where we would put something before we buy it, apart from trying to keep an organized space so we'll have easy access to all of our belongings. And that, again, is tricking our brain to, just think more critically before
Yeah.
we actually go on with our purchasing decisions. So that leads to the second point, where we can always take time with purchasing decisions. Although, the websites really love to rush us and give us that adrenaline
Yeah.
rush.
All right.
So we
I
can try
agree.
to avoid
Yeah.
making purchasing decisions
Yeah.
if we're tired, if we're overwhelmed, if we're uncertain. Some people might say to sleep on it and
Or
come
if you
back
are galau,
before,
yeah?
Galao. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, when you're galau.
Wow.
And I think finally, we can buy items that already fit our current system. We don't have to start from scratch each time we buy something new. So, for example, if we purchase new clothes, we can look for items that already work well with our current wardrobe. Or if we upgrade to new electronics, we can get things that really play nicely to what we already have so we can avoid buying new chargers, new
Yeah.
adapters, or cables and things like that.
Listen to that,
The
guys.
more we learn to limit ourselves, the more resourceful we actually become.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Clinical
Maria Alyssia, thank you
psychologist
so
Maria
much.
Alyssia, thanks so much.
We hope we can have better control, especially when it comes to online shopping. And thank you for the tips as well.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
for the
you, Maria.
fruitful psychological side
Yes.
that helps
Yes.
me.
But happy
personally.
Harbolnas anyway.
And we have